What's up, everybody? Cinephile Mike here. I have the pleasure of sitting with Matteo Burani, the writer and director, and Arianna Gheller, the animator and producer of the beautifully stunning animated short film Playing God, which is currently shortlisted for the 98th Academy Awards this year. Arianna, Matteo, how are you today?
It's fine, thank you. It's a pleasure to be
Yes.
here. Thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you for the invite. That is
Yes.
here.
So I'm gonna dive right into this. Playing God, it really engages with these ideas of creation, control, and consequence. And even that title invites a lot of interpretation.
Yes.
What was the initial idea or image that sparked the film for you?
So let's turn back in the year and in 2017, actually, because the idea was born there. And the first spark, let's say, it was just simply to make a story regarding a sculpture and this sculpture, easy, basically, like that. Inspired by the work about Alberto Giacometti, that actually is a sculptor, is an artist, is an Italian and French artist in the 60s. Actually, his life and his way to work was from the existentialism. So basically, he wasn't never happy about his work in some ways. So was the first experience. And after all, the short film was born with the idea to make something that really gel with the stop motion medium. Was our first initial achieve to do. Like, we want to play with the clay, we want to use the clay like living flesh. We want to hit the audience with that, and maybe combining everything with puppet animation, clay animation, and also pixelation, putting inside a real human being that make the sculpture, so showing the truth with the audience, showing the best stop motion as possible. So this was the initial spark in some ways. But during the time the story was evolved, it was like a 7 years in making this project. So we took a lot of time to first of all try to find a way to produce it, because it was absolutely not easy at all to find the money to make the film. We spoke with a lot of producer all around Europe, but never happened nothing. And but during this time, the story was evolved in more deeply meaning, let's say, because our initial focus was with these two main characters, but at the end, we discovered the consequences of this act. Because our story at the beginning was regarding the act of the build to fall, like create something and let him destroy in some ways, just to rebuild another one. So like a circle. um, but this kind of stuff make consequences, and the consequences are about the other people that living this tragedy in some ways, and they are put aside altogether. And this is I don't want to say a negative way to see the world and the society, but I think that the meaning of playing God is to see the beauty in that, and the beauty of belonging regarding the people, and regarding this kind of abandonment in some ways. So during the time, the meaning was just like that. So we want to focus with the main character that actually is the sculpture, and the other figures like him, all in a search of sense of belonging in some ways. And after that, yes, we built the project, and we took 2 years to animate, more or less. And that's it. The other really important part was the music, because we decided to make no dialogue in the film, just hitting with emotion, acting, emotion, and music to make everything as best as possible.
And we started with this huge passion for stop motion animation. So when we met, me and Matteo in 2017. It was like, okay, let's do a short film with in stop motion with this high quality. But of course, at the beginning, we didn't know how to like mix those three different techniques together. So we did a lot of experimentation. Even me in animation, at the beginning I was totally terrified. Like I didn't know how to animate in clay with clay. So I study a lot. And what Matteo said, that we did the animation in 2 years, actually is not totally correct, because we have to count 7 years, because we did a lot of attempt and we erased a lot of shots actually. So it was a long process.
And I want to spiral back to something, Matteo, that you were saying when you were talking about, making the conscious choice to not have any dialogue and use the music. I mean, this score is absolutely stunning. Can you talk a little bit about the collaboration you had with your composer, about how you came up with that sound, that score? It's gorgeous.
Well, yeah, so we grew together in the high school with my composer, with Pierdanio Forni, and then he started his own career with a band in UK. So we moved to our city in Bologna, and but we always keep in touch in some ways. At let's say that he is a brilliant composer. So it was his first score actually for the movie, yes. And we, since the beginning, we feel the chemistry to work together and to be perfectly intent about the real intention to make the score of the film. And it's crazy to say that there are also two instruments in this film. One, it's made of clay, is actually a ocarina, that it's sample and it's pitching down. So it was like playing notes with ocarina. That is a kind of terracotta, is clay, is a kind of clay flute. I don't know if you know the instrument. And
From Italy,
it's from Italy, yes, but actually we use this instrument because everything is made of clay, and I think that this instrument reflects really, really well the everything, the ambient, the character in some ways. And the other instrument was the voices. So because the voices was basically intentionally like the voice of the characters, in some ways like a core, everyone singing. And so they are the two main instruments, and we enjoy a lot also to make the voices, like the scream of the character, of the main character. We spent 2 days in a recording studio like screaming on a microphone, like it was really, really fun. I have a lot of footage, really, really fun footage about that. But yeah, it was so important to make the great score here, because it was so easy maybe to mistake and fall in a kind of genre horror, like random short film with the wrong music. But I think the music was play the specific role. Like for me, actually, is 50% of the film and 50% the movie, the soundtrack. So basically, this is the real emotional meaning of the film, because there is no dialogue, and the music in some ways move you, in the right mood that you have to feel in the specific moment. So there is the moment that you have to be stunned, like during the creation, like you don't know if it's something, I don't know, it is a strange music, that follow the movement and stuff. And then you are in a kind of horror like situation, like where I am. And then you enter in the mood of the analysis, when everyone stay in silence, and you follow the movement that you don't know. But the best moment for me in the film is at the end, when everyone accept the main character inside this group and show, the place, like there is always a place for you here with us. And this is, I think, is the most heartbreaking moment with the music that show you this possibility. So let's move off from your pedestal and come here with us because this is your place. And
And
yeah,
even though we know super well the film, we still cry. Like watching the film, we still
yeah.
cry because of the music. So Pier
I
Daniel did
remember.
a really great
Yeah,
job.
I remember when we he composed together. We composed the music together. So Pierdagno in the studio and us with him. And when he composed the specific moment of the end, I actually start crying. Like when you feel
A-
yeah,
like
yes, oh my God, I start crying and you start crying. And so at this moment, I say, okay, we can do that. Okay, so with this music, we can achieve that. Yeah, and it was great.
No, that's beautifully said. And I was feeling the emotions at the end too. And now the question for both of you, when you were putting this together, Ariana from the animation standpoint, Matteo from the directing standpoint, you really balance two different genres here, right? We have this heartbreaking story of despair and desire, and then we have this almost body horror, right? That like horror film. Talk about the conversations you had to really blend and balance these two genres without like tipping one into the other, because you really walked the nice line to balance the two.
thank you. Yeah, it was a nice conversation. We decide even in the character design to not be so grotesque. They are human actually.
Yes,
They are
they
mostly
are actually a
human,
monster 100%, but
but they have human faces and
is
with
the
their
fe is the
emotions.
feeling that you have with them that you feel like human. It's like transform zombies to human,
Mhm.
like Romero's movie.
Yeah.
This is the meaning. Yeah. So yeah, we play in this way.
The border.
Yes, like on the edge of the blade. Because I think the genre of a horror film, I'm a fan. I'm a big fan of this kind of cinema,
Me too.
and
Me
of
too.
course, but there is a lot of people that don't like it at all. But I think the meaning is like show the possibility, like because the visual, the horror, and everything maybe hit you and it's provoking. But the secret is not to die 100% on that because you have a lot of possibility to explain with this kind of genre. And I think there is a lot of director, a lot of movie that show you that maybe also a genre film, horror film, a body horror film can be something more, like
Mhm.
100% something more. Like, for example, let's analyze the David Cronenberg's movie, for
Mm.
example.
Mm.
It was like a kind of prophet, for the nowadays. And let's analyze maybe other director. For example, one of my favorite new director for horror film is Ari Aster, for example. He's transformed the horror genre. So if you watch the last movie, for example, Haddington, we saw, it's like oh my God, I was so scared about. I was completely scared about that movie. But it's not a horror film, you know. So there is a really great way to expression when you make this kind of cinema, and our goal was to make something like that with Plain God.
Mm. Yeah, putting inside some grotesque thing because
Yeah,
there is this saliva, there is this jaws that that smash in some way. There is these strong touches of the sculpture. So we decide to include these details, but the characters are human, so it's a correct evaluation of the balance of the film.
yeah,
Yes.
and the truth is that we love this kind of things. We love it so much, and we use the stop motion medium. So the basic of the stop motion medium is that you play with the reality. You have, if you tell about clay, you have real clay, you know,
Mm.
clay like a flesh, like living flesh. That it's great. So, and we don't have compromises to tell that. Like, let's show this, like in all brutal. If it's brutality, it's grind, it's grim, it's don't don't be afraid to show that. And let's hope that the audience like it.
I'm sure that they will. Um, so I'm really curious to know, now that you've completed this, and Matteo, congratulations. It's your first directing credit from what I see. Congrats.
Thank you.
Yes.
For each of you, as you prepare to work on your next project, whatever that may be, I love to ask filmmakers this, animators, all the people that are crafting these beautiful things that I watch. What would you say is a best practice or like a top tip that you picked up that you're like, ooh, you know what? I like how this worked, so I want to carry this into my next project? And what would you say for each of you was a learning curve where you're like, ooh, you know what? I want to not do that next time.
Oh God. When we started directly animating, for example, because we had this strong need to just create something, and of course we started without having, for example, storyboard animatic, nothing. So yeah, next time maybe
We can
optimize the
That in
production
place.
with a good pre-production. Because
maybe can be a good idea even to yes to enter maybe in a good flow of work, you know,
yes.
can be great.
We were so young and so passionate, and we just started, and now we are more old, let's say, even though, okay, I know that we are young, but we are older and with more knowledge now. So next time, next project will be more organized in terms of production too. But I hope that we will not lost the freshness, like the need to create, to experiment with techniques. So I hope to bring these yes these gestures, this need for the next project, but with a good production, with good
Yeah,
organization.
yeah, of course. Let's say yes, of course we are not the people that we started playing God 7 years
Mm.
ago anymore. And my it's not like it's not changed my vision to see the world, but maybe uh, you know, we develop different kind of thought and skill, let's say. And so what really want to make for the next project, it's basically a really great horror movie without be an horror movie. Continue in this path, like because I mean is what I am, you know, is what I like, and I know that I want to fight to have the my place on that. Like so, if this is our thought, our way to see the world, our way to tell the world, let's do it. And actually, our goal is trying to find a way to make a feature film, but we start to know how much how it's difficult. It's really difficult for us. Also, we are really very small studio. Um, Not because I don't believe in the short film, because I really love the short film medium, actually. It's like making a short film is a completely different way to make cinema because you have a short time to tell something. And when you have short time to tell something, you have to adapt your storytelling in something more
To be
dense.
precise.
Yes, exactly. It's like push everything in something really, really dense. Um, but we have a great idea actually to make for a feature film, and we want to try from now. Actually, we are already the script with the first version of the script are actually ready, and yeah, will be. I think it's a great story. I think will be a great story. Let's see.
Yes, Playing God will remain a unique production, I think, even because you mentioned that it was the first time of directing for Matteo for directing a film. It was actually my first time animating something like that. For Pier Danio, the composer, was the first time, so it will remain really a unique production. I am a bit sad for the next project to don't have this freshness anymore, but I hope that we will bring our knowledge in the next project,
Yeah.
the feature film. Let's hope.
Well, it's an absolutely beautiful film. And in closing, what's something that you would like the audience to take away after they spend this 9 minutes in your world of playing God?
Well, I hope that the people discover how much is important to um, how much is important to be a part of a group that people that can understand you, and how much it's precious to feel belonging together. Maybe also for a trauma, maybe it can be a social trauma or something, but the unity make strength. And I think this is the real message that I want to give with this film. Like, don't matter how pain you feel, don't matter how you feel different in the world. The important is to feel at home, with the other, and making something together and play this life together. So this is what I want to give to the people at the end of the shorts. Yeah.
And I hope that the audience will not um, just see the first impression of the film, but that they can feel also the meaning of the film, the emotion that we wanted to bring to the audience, not just the first impression of the visual, okay? Because it's a metaphor of
Mhm.
sometimes that in real life people can have just the first impression of you, but you would like that they can recognize you. So it's a good metaphor for me. So I really hope that the audience will feel Playing God in
Yeah.
the right way.
The last thing that I want to label is that remind that every judgment that you receive is just a subjective judgment of someone. That this is the other meaning, like the sculpture is blind. He is not able to understand, you know. So don't pay attention to maybe the judgment that maybe can hurt you, and maybe can falling you off and tearing apart. Don't pay attention to that. Just move on and this is also is a reminder for me, from my way to be and everything. So don't put so much attention to the subjective judgment. That's it. I have subjective judgment to the other things everyone has. But yeah, let's move on and connecting to the third things that I said before.
Nice. Well, again, it's a visually stunning film. Best of luck to you as it continues its journey. And thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me
Thank
Thank you
today.
so
you.
much for inviting us.
Thank you.